Hello my darlings, I hope you're doing very well. I hope you are sitting comfortably, you have a snack and a beverage and something cozy with you, like a blanket or a dog. Dog is preferable, always. But I hope you are just having a chill moment, and I hope you enjoy spending your chill moment with me. In today's video, I am going to be doing another part of Tattoo Enthusiast Reacts to Aged Tattoos. There is this subreddit that I really enjoy looking at, even in my spare time. So this subreddit is r/aged tattoos, and basically people will submit their tattoos when they were fresh and how they look now healed, and they will for the most part give, you know, how healed they are. No, wait. They all say how long the tattoo. Oh my goodness, they'll say how old the tattoo is. Oh my goodness, I need a nap. I've been away for 4 hours. And it's nap time for me, okay? So this one right off the bat here is a good example of what we're working with, okay? We have a tattoo from 1999. I was 9 years old. I'm sure some of you weren't even born yet. But I was 9 years old when this was done in the great old 90s. I miss the 90s so much. Life was so much easier then, but I was a child, so that's maybe why I feel like that. Oh, do you see that? Do you see my camera shaking right now? My hands are up. Are we done? My lights are shaking. Okay, I think we're done. Basically, I live near a railway track. Words today, my goodness. But every now and then there'll be a freight train that will go past and my whole house just shakes and vibrates, and it just did it then. I'm glad we caught that on camera once because it never happens. What was I saying? Wow, I should really just start this whole video over again, shouldn't I? But yeah, I miss the 90s. Great time of my life. But this is the tattoo in 2022, so that makes it maths. It did just say 23 years. So that's 23 years old. And to begin with, this tattoo, somewhat questionable, I will say. It's not the best quality tattoo I've ever seen. The line work to start off with was very, very thick, and that obviously only gets thicker over time. But for like the saturation and the colours and all of that, the red has faded quite a bit, but that yellow surprisingly has stayed very, very well. And the greens as well. Yellows are sometimes, for a lot of people, the first sort of colours to fade. I'm talking 20, 30, 40, 50 years here. Nothing too soon. I myself have quite a prominent yellow tattoo up here. It's like a yellow skull, and that is still very, very bright and vibrant. But that is, again, only, I got that in 2018 maths, so that's 4 years old at this point, I think. So still, you know, many years to go. So this one is a cool one to see. So this is only 10 months, and in comparison, this person could have many, many years left in this tattoo. So we have a fresh here. This is totally my kind of aesthetic right here, spooky, and it's black work, but there's pops of color there with the green and the purple. The gradient is amazing here. As you can see, like, it starts from like a dark, well, almost black, and then it goes to this purple, to this lilac-y lavender color, and the same with the green. There is an amazing transition there, or gradient. Really, really nice tattoo. And this is 10 months. Somehow the green looks even more vibrant. It could be photo quality, and also with the fresh one, as you can see here, it's a little bit discolored because sometimes you bleed when you get tattooed, so it can make colors, especially the lighter colors like yellow, this pale sort of green color there, it discolors the tattoo when you first get it. And that's why when a tattoo artist is taking a photo and you have these colors in your tattoo, they're constantly wiping because you keep bleeding through. They're not getting a accurate picture of their work because the yellow is starting to look orange. But this is gorgeous. It's healed very, very nicely. There's a couple of blowouts just around here. You see that? It's just a little bit. Can I zoom on this? I can. Yes, love that for me. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, there's a little bit of blowout going on here and there, which is completely normal. Blowouts do happen. It's healed, I would say, pretty damn nicely. It's a nice tattoo. Okay, so we have one here, which is 2019 to 2022. So that's about 3 years old, but it could be a bit less depending on when they got it, of course. So we have here a very cool dot work snake tattoo on the thumb there. How did this heal up? That dot work there, should I do a zoom in? Is that easier for you? Let me know if this helps you in any way if I do zoom in. But yeah, there's a lot of dot work there and it does fade out quite a bit there. So for it to fade so much with healing, it's kind of to be expected, but I don't know if it should be that much, especially this. So this should still be, you know, pretty solid. And the way that that just fades out, and we've definitely lost the majority of the detail with the dot work there. That being said, though, this placement here is very hard to heal and, you know, without having touch-ups, because I have the word darling right there. And then towards the end, the G, I will insert a detailed picture because you're not going to see it from there. The N and the G has struggled a little bit there, but again, it's on such a bendy place where it moves so much. So I'm actually getting that touched up tomorrow. Well, when I'm filming this. I'm filming this on Wednesday, the 17th of August. So I'm getting a touch up on Thursday. It's to be expected. Some tattoos, you know, on very movable places do need touch-ups. It's just one of those things, you know. So with a touch-up, this could look fabulous. Okay, the next one I've picked here that I'm very interested to see is Watercolor Cow, July 2017, fresh artist photo to August 2022. So that, again, is like 5-ish years almost. So this is, of course, a watercolor cow tattoo. It is gorgeous. I absolutely love the style of this. I think that this is like, it's like a work of art you will find in a shop that sells a lot of artwork, if that makes sense. So like in the UK, somewhere like Dunelm or The Range. We've got a lot of amazing saturation there, a lot of detail, even though it's just like squiggles and, you know, patches of colour. It makes up a really readable tattoo. You can tell that that is a cow. So how does it look now? Oh, interesting. I was not expecting that much colour fallout, to be honest with you, because a lot of tattoo artists that do watercolour tattoos really know how to pack in colour, because you need that colour to stay and to stay as saturated as possible. Because if it doesn't, you end up with a somewhat unreadable tattoo. In my opinion, I can still tell that this is a cow. We're just missing an ear. That has come out a lot. The whole ear is pretty much, I mean, it's still there, but it's not as, you know, noticeable as, say, the green ear. But with this, I'd say it's quite easy to fix. You could just do it again with maybe a darker colour. I would say maybe go for like a red or more of a magenta colour, because I'd say maybe this person doesn't react well to oranges maybe, or it just wasn't done that well. And this is the problem with watercolor tattoos. I don't mind them personally. I don't have any personally though, just because I like my tattoos to have very thick, bold black outlines, and with watercolor you don't want that, because then it doesn't become watercolor. When you don't use black to hold the tattoo together like, you know, a regular tattoo, or, you know, say traditional, you are left with nothingness sometimes like this. So if there was still a black outline, it would make a bit more sense, you know. So that is the problem with watercolor tattoos. Okay, so we have a hummingbird here. This is fresh 2011, aged 11 years. Okay, so we have, you know, just a standing hummingbird. This is the kind of tattoo that isn't for me personally. I would say it's not the best quality either. It's definitely a little bit ropey in places. The line work is struggling a little bit here and there, and it looks kind of raised as well. The hummingbird is a little bit misshapen as well there. I'm very interested to see how this is healed, because it looks like it's struggling from the get-go with peace and love. Wait, what? Excuse me? Okay, so that green is now blue. It's like a turquoise aqua colour. Like all of the greens have changed completely. That's changed a lot. But the line work seems to have held up pretty well. I'm kind of shocked at that. I was expecting a lot of fallout because it just didn't look the best quality in my opinion. But that, I'm surprised by that. And also the colour change. Wild. This is freaking beautiful. Holy cow. So this says 3 years healed over scars. I am obsessed with how this is healed. That is still extremely saturated. The only thing we've kind of lost, I would say, is the crispiness of the outline, which is to be expected. That happens with every single tattoo. The line work never stays, as thin as it was when it was first done. It's just the way tattoos heal and age over time. There's a few bits here and there that could probably do with a little bit of a touch up just in this area here. You see the blue has gone a bit there and a little bit there, but with a quick touch up, it could be amazing. I still think it's amazing anyway. Ooh, okay, so we don't have a before and after, but it says 14-year-old tattoo. I did it myself when I was 17. Oh Lord. I can't really read what it says, like the legibility, it's gone. I don't know if it was there to start off with, but it's not there. What does this say? See, to me that says this Tobias grave knit. I don't know what that says. What does this say? There's a comment here that says they put his libidos gave oil, but then someone here, by the looks of things, has probably translated it correctly, and it says Alice libertas grave nil, and someone said meaning, and then they said something like nothing is heavy for those who have wings. I mean, it's 14 years old, and with aging and what have you, script can sometimes become pretty unreadable. How old's my oldest script tattoo? I got a script tattoo when I was 19, so it's about 12, 13 years old. Oh my goodness, that's so old. But I have in here, it says, in order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different. To me, it's still very readable. To be honest, the only thing that's struggling is the fact that it's faded quite a bit. Like it looks more grey now than, black, which, that happens with tattoos and stuff. But it hasn't turned that bluey grey. It's more grey. Okay, this one's pretty interesting. This says Abra by Simon Zook, Chile. Fresh versus 5.5 years later. Lost some weight since then, and I'm really happy with how it's aged considering I have eczema. Okay, so it's definitely changed a little bit here. The person did say they had lost some weight there. So you can see the way that it's changed shape a little bit. It was a little bit wider beforehand, and now it's kind of shrunk this way a little bit. The line work has thickened up a lot. The difference between it fresh and then healed, that is a huge difference. It also seems to have gone a bit more orange, but then that could be lighting quality, camera quality. We have to take those things into consideration, but it definitely looks a lot more orange. And then this bit here, it's darker when it's healed, which is completely like, what? Lost a little bit of saturation here and there. It's a little bit patchy. But everything else... Oh, and this around here has also struggled quite a bit because there was purple in there and now there isn't, and in there as well. So there's a few patchiness moments here and there. But other than that, it's still readable. It's just changed quite a lot. And there's obviously some factors there with, eczema and weight loss, so that can obviously change a tattoo. Fresh versus healed. Fresh versus 3 years healed. Possible filter used by tattoo artist on the fresh picture. Okay, thing is, I actually like it more healed than I do fresh, and this is coming from someone who loves dark tattoos. Oh my goodness, the darker a tattoo is, sometimes the better, but I much prefer this. It's just softened a little bit, and with owls, they're so cute. They can look kind of scary, right? But owls are so cute, and I like how the features have softened a lot more, and the eyes still look hella cool, and that black is still very, very black, so you have nice contrast there still, but the softness of it, I don't know, it just looks a lot better in my opinion. Okay, so we have a fresh versus almost 2 years old here. Is this the healed or is this fresh? Like, not to be shady or anything, but this looks like a healed tattoo in my opinion. Okay, we have a caption here. This was my first professional tattoo at the ripe age of 18, done in November 2020. The picture on the left, forgive its low quality, I had a trap phone at the time. I love the honesty. Is freshly after peeling off the TG derm. The right is about 5 minutes ago. Okay, so that's it new, but that looks like a healed tattoo to me. Ah, okay, I like this. That white has held up considerably well, in my opinion, because white sometimes doesn't like to stick around and it can look a little bit discoloured, which I think it has a little bit. White, like we can see here, can sometimes have a yellowy tone to it, but I think that kind of makes this tattoo look great, in my opinion. Right? I don't know. I like this. I feel like after a few more years, though, these petals here might start to struggle a little bit. I like, again, the healed version more than the fresh. I'm sorry, what? 121 months old. How do you think this tattoo will age? What is 121 months? Hang on. 120, what is that in years? I literally need to Google that because I cannot do quick math. Okay, apparently it's 10 years. I'm so confused. It doesn't take a lot to get me confused. This looks very aged, so I'm going to say, yeah, that's 10 years old, but it's the way it's worded, like, how do you think this tattoo will age? Like, it's already like 10 years old at this point. I'm not saying that's old, but that's a long period of time for a tattoo. We don't get to see what it looked like fresh, but I would say that this tattoo has definitely had some sun damage because it's quite faded in places and it's starting to become a little bit unreadable. Like, I can tell it's a sort of city skyline situation in a sunset and a broken heart with the crossbones there. And it says, sing along forever, maybe? Okay, this one is just the design and the quality of this caught my eye. It says Fresh versus Healed, 4 years, done by Levi Hilton, or Levi Hilton, should I say. This is so freaking cool. I love this. I'm very intrigued to see what this looks like 4 years on because the quality of it fresh is amazing. We haven't lost much at all. A little bit of saturation, so the orange isn't, I mean, it's still bright, but it's not as juicy and saturated. But other than that, this is a good quality tattoo and it's healed beautifully, you know, for 4 years and what have you. And I feel like this is the kind of tattoo that will stand the test of time for years and years and years and years to come. Okay, we got one here that spoke to my spooky soul, which is Spider Hip Tap, done by Shannon Janice in the UK. So this is October 2019. Great time to get a spooky tattoo. And we have a, you know, spider web there and a spider with some really nice white highlights in there. The only thing is with hip tattoos, they are quite hard to heal just because, again, movement and then your clothes rubbing on it constantly. You know, this person's wearing jeans, so that constant rubbing, it can hinder the healing process. Okay, what does it look like now? Okay, it hasn't changed too much. We have lost quite a bit of the white highlight. It's only really stayed in the body there. The spider web seems to have held up quite nicely. It's not as dark or saturated, but that again is to be expected with healing tattoos. Other than that, yeah, it's such a bummer because it looked so nice fresh there with all the white and it just added some dimension and we've kind of lost that a little bit. But other than that, it's done pretty well. Okay, so we have one here from 2016 to 2022. So that makes it for about 6 years old, possibly around about 6 years old, depending on when they got it, of course. So we have this really cool traditional tattoo. It's an envelope with a heart and some flowers there. This is what I would call a standard traditional tattoo. You have everything you need here. Bold line work, very saturated. The colours are gorgeous. It's just a great tattoo in my opinion. I'm excited to see what this looks like healed. I hope it stays looking great. Please don't let me down because I talk about how amazing traditional tattoos are all the time. Amazing. It has healed up perfectly. Again, I prefer the healed version. The only thing we're missing, I would say, there's a few bits here and there that could probably do with a touch up, you know, loss of saturation in the flowers there and a little bit in the line work. Other than that, it looks freaking gorgeous. And this is why I will ride traditional's dick until the day I die because they always look so freaking good when they're healed. Still very readable. This term bold will hold is there for a reason, okay? Okay, my darlings, so that will be it for this video. I've thoroughly enjoyed looking at fresh versus healed tattoos. I just love the way tattoos age depending on style, depending on person. that's what makes tattoos so freaking cool, in my opinion. Just like the process of healing and ages and the way that we carry them with us for possibly the rest of our lives. And, you know, I don't know. I just very much enjoy tattoos. I don't know if you can tell. But yeah, I hope you all stay safe and well. And until my next video, bye.